Hello friends, welcome back to channel. In the previous session, we have learned about sketching and we have learned the basic commands like line, circle, rectangle and many more. Today, we will continue the same and we will learn more about sketching. I am Pushpendra Kumar and I welcome you to my YouTube channel PTC CREO-TUTORIal. If you are new to the channel, like, share and subscribe and watch the video till the end and boost up your knowledge. So in this session we will learn about fillets, chamfer, offset, thicken, text and palette. So let's go to the software and start learning these things. So here once again I am with the software CREO. I have set my working directory. I don't need to set it again. I will go for new, sketch, keep the name as it is, click OK. So in the previous we have learned the 6 parts: line, rectangle, circle, arc, ellipse, spline, and the remaining are still pending. So we will cover these all about fillet, chamfer, text, offset, what are these and why we need to learn about this. So we'll start with fillet. Sometimes we may need to create a profile or a path that has a sharp corners. But when we think about manufacturing, sharp edges are difficult to be manufactured. So we provide either a round edge or a straight cut edge. So when we go for round edge, that is called fillet, and when we go for a straight cut, that is called chamfer. So let's see how it works. So to learn that, let's create a rectangle. And now what I will do is, let's click on fillet. Like see here, edges are sharp. I don't want these sharp edges. So what I will do is click on fillet and select the 2 lines, and automatically there is a round edge created. And it creates a, by default the software calculates its dimension and gives a value of the radius, and you can change it manually by double clicking it and giving a value of your requirement. So this is how we can change our corners. Fillet provides a rounded corner. Now we will go for chamfer. Click on chamfer, select the edges, and you can see a slanted straight line has been made. Let's zoom in and see we have different values and it's user defined. You can change the dimension as per your requirement of how you want. If you don't want this dimension, you can provide angle also. So click on the lines and provide an angle. So this is how the sharp edges are removed from a profile. So these 2 options, fillet and chamfer, use of these 2 are only to remove the sharp edges. So now let's move to the next one, text. We'll cover it later. Let's go for offset first. So first delete this profile and let's create another rectangle. Now what offset does? Offset creates a short distance same profile. As it's clear by the name offset, and you can see the icon. It's showing a same profile but at a distance. So how it works? Suppose I have created a rectangle and I want to boundary it, but only from 2 sides. So if I go manually, I have to draw a line. Or if I draw a rectangle like this, I have to delete 2 sides of this rectangle that I don't need. So what I will do is I will go click on offset. When you click on offset, there is a pop-up window opened here which asks for type. Which type of offset you want to perform. It's single, chain or loop. Single means it will offset a single entity. The entity that you will select, only that will be created at a distance that is desirable. So I will check this all one by one. So let's go for single first. So I have selected type single. I will select this line. So as I click on the entity that I want to offset, what I see is there is an arrow mark here. It is showing downward direction, and a pop-up window has opened that is asking to enter a value of which that entity will be offset. So let me keep a value of 9. Click on OK, but I want in reverse direction. So I will give a negative sign. If I want in the same direction, I will just click on OK. So I want it in a negative opposite sign, so I will provide a minus sign and say OK. Just fit it and see here. At a distance, it has been created. So this is how offset works. If I go for chain and select this entity and the second entity, now the menu manager gets opened and it asks to either accept this two entity or to continue more. So if I click on next, let me zoom in and you can see clearly. See, I have selected two entities. I have selected chain option. So it asks for questions like either accept it or select next, or you can deselect it. If I say previous, it will retrieve the whole path that is interlinked with those two entities. I will select next, previous, and only it has four entities. It will keep on selecting those all. So if I say next, see, I have selected two entities. I clicked on next. The whole entity has been selected, and now I will click accept it. And there is a value asking, so I will say 0.9 and go inside. Okay. See, one profile has been created. What will happen if I select the loop? I will select one entity, give a value of 0.7 and say OK. So when I select the loop, by selecting a single entity, the whole profile is getting selected. By selecting chain, we have to select two entities, and in reference with that two entity, we can perform either selecting the whole profile, or we'll keep working on this only two selected profiles. So this is how offset works, and you can create multiple profile with the help of single one. So next, move to the next one, thicken. It performs the same function as like offset, but the difference is thicken creates double line instead of single one. Let's check it out how. I created a rectangle. We have learned the offset. Now we'll go for thicken and see, it asks for a question. Select thicken is single, chain or loop. The same thing that was in offset, but it has another feature like end caps. Open, flat or circular. So let's see what it performs. I will provide the thickness of 0.5 and I will offset it 0.9. I have to use the first options only. Click on OK. See, as I have selected a single line, with the help of the entity, the single entity that I selected, this thicken option has created two lines, and the difference was the first value that I entered 0.5. That was the first dimensional difference from the entity that I have selected, and then I entered a value of offset that has been calculated from that first created line. So with the help of single line, I have created two lines. So if you are trying to create a boundary, you can use this function thicken and easily create your profile. So let's go for the loop option. Delete this, create another rectangle. Let's go for a circle. It will be very easy to understand. So I have created a circle. I'll go for thicken, single, same value. I will enter 0.5 and the offset value 0.9. Now see here, I have created one circle. I use the thicken function and see two more circles have been drawn and the difference the same, 0.9. So this is how it all works. The gap is defined on the first value and then the second value defines your offset. So this was thicken command. And next we have text. When you want to write something, you can use text command and write anything, but to write anything you have to align your text. So when you click on text, there is a line that gets open first. This line provides you the alignment. If I click on bottom to upward, bottom to top side, the alignment will be straight. You can write anything here, like I write anything, CREO. I can change the font as well. There are a number of options here. I will give font 3D because it will look perfect. The position will be bottom, horizontal, left horizontal, and vertical will be bottom. Aspect ratio you can change from here. I'll click on OK. So here the CREO has been written, and that line dimension defines its height. And if I do the same thing and I go from top to bottom, now see what happens. Same, I will write CREO. Now see, I have gone from top to bottom. So that line that we draw on the first time while we have selected the text option, that reference line is the origination of that letters that we are going to type. So keep in mind, whenever you are using text command, be specific of that line, that in which direction you want to write the things. If you want to write in a straight manner, keep the line bottom to upward side, and you can perform your text operations. So now this all has been covered, only one is missing, that is palette. So let's see what is palette. When you drag your mouse up to palette, it gives information about what is palette. So it's saying palette imports shapes from a palette into the active object. So here the object is our sketching window graphics or sketching window, working window. So a palette is a database of multiple shapes. Like previously we were drawing a rectangle, circle, a simple geometry we were drawing. But what if we have to draw a hexagon, a polygon, a triangle? it will take time to draw. We have to define everything one by one. But in palette, we have all the options. It is already designed. And if you want to create your own palette, create a sketches, save it by name, and you can keep it there. Like see here. In my tutorial, I have created two profiles, two sketches, and I have kept it. It's sketch 1 and sketch 2. These are normal rectangles. If I click it and take it out here, see, I don't need to draw anything. Rectangle is here, and I can change its shape by dragging the point. Whatever I want, I can change it, and I can also change the orientation here. So if you have drawn a sketch or a profile, you can use it multiple times by saving it in your working directory, and it will call it as a palette. Select it and it's drawn here. And if we want to draw polygons, just change it over and see, we have 3-side triangle, 4-side square, pentagon, hexagon, octagon, heptagon. We have multiple faces here. So if you are trying to draw a profile that contains these types of geometry, you can directly call them from palette option. We have profiles like C profile, I profile, L profile, T profile. We have shapes like R, cross, oval. There are many options that we can create, even though we can create stars. So let's see a 5-tip star and keep it as it is. We can create 4-tip star. And we have multiple options. 10-tip star. Now let's close it. See. So from palette, the database of shapes, the geometries. We can create any profile that we want. See here. I have created multiple profiles here without any effort. So if you want to enjoy while working, we have to learn about palette. That what are these? At that position, if I am selecting palette, which profiles, which geometry I can fetch out and I can perform my task. I will create an L profile as well and see number of things I can generate without any effort. Only what I need to do is to change the dimension, nothing else. I can fix it. I don't need to do anything. So this is the funniest thing in this software that is called palette. You can call out the geometry and you can perform your task. So friends, this was from my side. I guess you have enjoyed the video. Please like, share and subscribe and be in touch. We'll keep you updated about more about CREO. Thanks for watching. We'll meet you soon in the next video.